Okay, today we are going to be building a cardboard Pinewood Derby car. And so this is my finished result here. This is called the F-Zero, and this is the product that you will eventually make. So you can see what the top looks like, the side looks like. Now there's a couple dimensions that you're going to have to abide by. And so I'm going to write those down for you right on the camera here. So the height of your car. So that's from here to here. That cannot be any bigger. Height equals 60 millimeters. The length of your car, that's from nose to tail. The length cannot be any longer than 170 millimeters. And then the width. And the width is not from tire to tire, but the width of your body. So the width of your car, which is this direction, from here to here, the width max is 45 millimeters. Now, these don't have to be exactly 60. If you had like 55, that's fine. Okay, or a little bit less is fine. I just don't want to go any more than any of these numbers. Now, the wheel size. So the wheel size for this, I'm going to just draw a circle here. The wheel size, the diameter, is going to be equal to 29 millimeters. And there is one more measurement that you're going to need to know, and that is the size of the nub that's going to hold this car back on the track. So there's going to be a little piece of wood that is holding the car back. And you need to know how far above the platform is that little piece of wood, so that when you have your car against it, it'll hold it back. And so the other one you need to know is the track size. So the track is going to be underneath this, and the wheels are going to keep it from going off track. If I flip upside down, you can kind of see that. We'll picture like this ruler is the track. And if you ever rode that ride at Silverwood that has a little track and it keeps you from veering off of it, you probably rode it when you were really small and you drove a car and probably thought it was amazing. But the reason why you didn't go every which way is because there's like a metal track that you're going to ride on. Well, this one does have a wooden track, and the wooden track is 5 millimeters from where the wheels are. So like if I had this car sitting on a platform like this, from the ground, so I'm going to flip it over here like this. From the ground, the wooden track is going to stick above the ground 5 millimeters. So it's like this. So I'll flip this around. So it's going to stick above the ground 5 millimeters. And so you have to know that because your car, you don't want it to rub on that 5 millimeter wooden track. Only thing you want is the wheels to catch that track, which is also one of the reasons why I'm telling you the width that your car has to be to ride on the track, because, or the max width of your car, because we don't want that to be so wide that your car so wide it's going to drift to the next track, or your track is wider than your car and your car doesn't fit. So anyway, so that again, if this is the track that your car is going to ride on, there's going to be the wooden part that rides in between your wheels, and that is going to be 5 millimeters tall. Okay? Alright, now let's go ahead and go on to the program. Go to Inkscape, downsize this. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, well, downsize, put this in the corner here. I'm going to start to draw my car. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a square or a rectangle, and the rectangle is going to fit about the dimensions that I stated. So I had the max at 60 I'll make it, let's go 58. Why not? We'll make it a little different than the max. So the height, I'll go 58 on the height. And the length, the max length is 170. So that's going to be the width on this thing. So I'm going to do, 170 is fine. All right. Now there's my basic body of my car. Now the actual width of the car, if you look on here, the width from here to here, that's going to all be determined by how many pieces of cardboard you cut out and glue together. So that's, by the way, this is what it's going to look like without all the tape and all that. Let's look at this real quick. So here is another model of a car. You can see we just glued several layers, and that determines the width. And you're going to really have to measure the cardboard you're going to cut out and calculate that out to find out what your width is going to be. If I flip over to the other side, you'll see there's also a hole here, and that's to add weight to your car. And since we're not doing this out of wood, cardboard's pretty light, so you could add some rocks or whatever you have to throw into these holes. And the max weight for these cars is going to be 5 ounces. So you can't go above 5 ounces. We will weigh them before the race so that we will find out if you are disqualified from the race by being too heavy. So before you tape up that hole, you're going to want to weigh your car with the rocks and the material that you're going to weigh this down with. All right, first thing, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this car, and I'm going to start designing my body of my car. I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and round some corners first. So I'm going to double click this until I get the rounded option. I'm going to round those corners. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and chop a little bit of these corners off a little bit. Just give me some nodes to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and just make another rectangle. And I'm going to go ahead and move this like this. I'm going to change the color to set fill just so I can see the difference. And for my car, I am going to set something like that. I think that'll work. Now I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to click on the red rectangle, and I'm going to type in Control and plus. Oops, not Control plus, Control Z. I messed up. Control minus. That's what I'm trying to do. And so hold down Shift key, click on both shapes you want to cut, Control minus, and there it is. Now that I have this, I can actually click on this little node tool here, and now I can mess with the nodes, and this is where it gets really cool. I can make a really cool car body. I can grab this here, bend it down. I think I'll move this down a little bit, break that windshield back a little bit. I think I'll move this maybe down here, grab this one, move right here. You can start seeing it's looking a little more like a race car. And I can even grab this and start warping things a little bit. Ooh, I like that. I like how it's coming up and going down and back up. I like the tail fin. A tail fin, I feel like it's too high though, so I'm going to go ahead and move that tail fin down. Notice I just grabbed 2 nodes and I can move them together if I do it that way. It's pretty cool. You can also mess with this more if you wanted to. And I could round this out. Maybe I want to round that out by just grabbing that and rounding it out. You can start seeing my car body starting to come along. And you can play with this. You can move it. You can even add nodes. So if I want to make a flare out somewhere, let's see where would I want to do that. Maybe right here. I clicked until I added a node. And I can also click, maybe I'll click here and add a node here. So I basically just click on the side of that, click, and then also a node will appear. And then you can grab this and you can move it, and it'll only move it between those nodes. So if there's some kind of shape that you're looking for that's a little bit different, you can add nodes and bend just that part of the line. It's pretty cool. All right. Now, now I have this little rough patch here. I think I want to get rid of that, so I'm going to click on the node tool, click on this, and I'm just going to click on this or highlight it, and I'm going to hit delete. You'll notice it rounds it out, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this down, just try to make that shape a little bit better, so you can go through and do that. Now, I need some wheel wells for my 29mm wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a circle. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually just make the regular wheel itself. So the regular wheel is 29. So I'm just going to type in 29 on this side. And I'm going to type in 29 on this side. There, now I have my wheel. And I'm going to go ahead and put a hole in the center for my stick. And I'm going to go ahead and measure the stick on camera here so you can see we're using this barbecue skewer. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go ahead and pinch that, and I find out that it's it actually says 3 millimeters. Okay. So it's 3 millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead, let me get this downsize here, and I'm going to make another circle. And I think I'm just going to copy this one, Control C, Control V. Control C, Control V, there it is. And then I'm going to hit this lock button, hit 3 millimeters, and that'll change it equally on both sides. So watch I've hit 3 here, I lock it, hit enter, and you'll notice that there are 3 on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and unlock that for now. And I'm going to turn this to, let's see what color I can see really well in there. Let's go this pink color. Set fill. All right, now I'm going to highlight both of them, hit Control Shift A to bring up the line tool, click these two, and now it's aligned. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to move this down. Actually, I'm going to group this for a second. Control G. I can ungroup that with Control Shift G later. And what I want to do is put this so that dot where the barbecue skewer is going to go through is going to be lined up where I need to be. These arrows here also mark the center, so I can see that I'm a little bit above the cardboard. I want to be a little above cardboard because I don't want this to be weak either. So now that I have that, I'm going to make another one, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger than the wheel. That way, I can make a wheel well. The wheel well is the part the wheel rides in, and that way when I cut it out, I will have the wheel won't rub on the car. So what I'm going to do is let's make this bigger. I think I'm going to go to, let's make it 4. I'm going to 38. 38 sounds good. I'm going to lock that down. There it is. I really don't need this. Hit Control Shift G to ungroup it. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't think I really need that. I'll leave it on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this one over here. And I'm going to put this about where I want it. I'm looking at this. I want it a little bit above this guy. And in fact, what's kind of cool is this hole here is right around 4. Okay. Actually, I'm going to change that exactly 4. That way, my stick will not rub on the inside here. I'm actually going to use that in a second. All right. Now, anyway, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to Control D, which duplicates it in place. Now I can use the right arrow key, not the mouse, and move it over, and it's going to move it in a perfect alignment with the other wheel. And I'm going to put this where I think it doesn't look stupid, basically. And I don't know, I think probably right there. My wheel is actually smaller than that. I'm going to do some cutting, so as you know, what I like to do when I do some cutting, it's hitting this screen here. Let me try again. There, that's better. Now, when I do some cutting, I always like to make a copy. Control C, Control V, because you don't know what you're going to have to fix. So, and I'm also making another copy for another purpose as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the wheel, hold down Shift key, and I'm going to hit Control minus. And then I click on this, hold down the Shift key, click on that one, Control minus. Now I have the basic wheel. Now, I know exactly what I'm going to do from here. I'm going to take this guy here. I'm going to change its color to my favorite color, green, set fill, and then I'm going to put this, I'm actually click on this button, this is the magnet tool, and this will lock it right where it needs to be. I want it perfectly right on top. I'm going to hit page down. There it is. And now I have the inside piece, and let's go back to the car. I'm trying to recreate this. So I have one piece that has the wheel cut out, and then the other piece which is going to be solid. So now let's go back to Inkscape. So I'm going to now, I'm going to cut this hole out as well. That's going to be for my new wheels here. So I'm going to go ahead, click on this, hold down Shift, hit Control minus, do the same thing, Shift, click on that, Control minus, and there we go. Now, I'm going to change my wheel color here to something else. Let's make that different than what we already had here. So let's go blue. Set, fill. Okay. And that little hole in the center, Control Shift G, because I remember I grouped it earlier. I'm going to change that to pink, set, fill. And then I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of it and hit Control minus. And now I have a hole for the wheel, and I can see what this is going to actually look like when I put it on there. Yeah, that's going to be good. I have plenty of room here, so this isn't going to rub. And I have pretty much, my car's almost done, actually. Go ahead and do that, and there it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this, make a copy of it, because I'm going to start messing with another part of it. I'm going to remove the red piece. And we need a hole cut out here for the weights. So I'm going to go ahead and take a square and grab this corner here, move it up in here, and I'm going to place my hole where I think the weight should go. And there's a hint about this, by the way, if you watch the Mark Rober video. He actually tells you exactly where to put the weights. He either says put the back, the front, or in the middle. And I'll let you look at that up, and those people that want to win, I would definitely check out that video. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Let's say this is where I want it, and I'm just putting it here because it's conveniently in the middle. Does not mean this is the best place for it. Hint, hint. Now I'm going to go ahead and hold down the Shift key, click on this, and I'm going to hit Control minus, and now I have a hole for my weight. Now, what do I need to print out? Well, we need a car body, Control C, Control V. In fact, I'm going to print this one over and over again. This one, I need two of these, one for the outside of the right side and one for the outside left side. So I'm going to go ahead and Control C, Control V. Now I have those copies. I'm going to move this stuff up. This, I might need to come back to this. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it there, and just in case. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip this round. You'll notice that things fit really nicely. Usually if you have odd shaped things, you flip them around like this, you can get a lot more on the print bed, not waste as much cardboard. Don't forget too, if the cardboard's bent, please don't put it in the machine. There's a good chance that you will knock the Glowforge off track, and I don't want to see that. You're going to need to print a lot of these off, and basically you're just going to have to measure the thickness of the cardboard and then figure out how many of all these you need. But you only need two of these, so how many of these do you need? So you're going to have to get the measure tool, find out how thick the cardboard that you're cutting out is, and then calculate it out to figure out how many of these middle pieces you actually need. Control C, Control V. I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. And let's say I need 4 of those. Now let's go ahead and Control C, Control V. Take that. You might need more of this. Actually, I think you probably will. Now, if it's sticking like that, don't forget we have the magnet tool on. We can take that off. And now, let's go ahead and try it again. There, that's better. Now it's not sticking. Now, the last thing, of course, is take these and then set the stroke line. So right mouse click red, hit set stroke, get rid of the fill. That's with the red X. And now it's actually ready to cut. And please remember that we cut this on the cardboard. We want to look and put this in the proper place. Remember, I want to put this in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and get as much of this in there as I can so you don't waste cardboard. All right, I think that's really what you need to know for right now. And come up and ask me any questions about that. Just pause the video wherever you need to, and you can ask me questions. The wheels, by the way, I will provide, and so you don't have to make those. But everything else, you're going to go ahead and make yourself. The tape and stuff like that to make it fancy, I have that stuff. I have markers. I have everything you need for that. All right, over and out. I will see you guys next time.